in the building today. Citizens.
Icons living.
Icons living.
Woo! And you one of them, Calloway.
Icons living.
Yes.
You know when an icon is in the building. When the people that came with the entourage look legendary. Who is that? My gosh.
That's Tyra's team. Tyra's team over there with the legendary. You got the hair and the
Well, your team.
No, my team hot over there, too.
Okay, you got a hot team, too. Like, take your jackets off. They look hot over there. All right.
Stupid.
They hot.
Stupid.
We've had her here before. Every time she's been here, she's graced our airwaves, and we walked away on a higher plateau. Anytime I see this woman, I think about some of her accomplishments. One of the first to be featured on GQ and Sports Illustrated swimsuits. Time Magazine, most influential people, one of 4 of African Americans. Look what she's done with herself. Mm-hmm. Executive producer, Dancing with the Stars, all the careers that she's given birth to. Do they talk about that?
You know what? You talk about it, so that's good.
That's good enough for you?
Yeah.
All right, she didn't come along, but please give it up for the one and only Tyra Banks. The master of reinvention is here, had to be.
I know.
Come on.
I know.
If there was a course to be taught, he should be the one teaching it.
Absolutely.
I first started watching him as the tap dance kid,
Yep.
Silver Spoons,
Yep.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
What?
But they don't talk about in the house like they need to.
No, we
One
don't
of the
talk about
goats,
it as much.
LL
Don't
Cool
talk about
Jiggy.
that. LL's one of our family members here.
Oh,
Shout
I
out to
know.
LL Cool J.
Yo.
Okay, he even won season 19 of
James
Dancing
Todd.
with the Stars. So it only makes sense that he's a part of Dancing with the Stars.
And let's not forget about all the directing that he's done.
that-
He's been
Come on,
behind
man.
that camera. That part.
The
Keep
master
going.
reinvention right here.
Keep flowing.
And his suit game is impeccable.
Always. Impeccable.
Please give it up for the one and only ALFONSO RIBIERO, ladies and gentlemen.
Sway money.
Yeah, I know that. Tyra, I'm sorry, man, but when the homies start hanging out, it just turned into something else, Tyra.
Listen,
What's
and
wrong with
you come in, the beats were kicking.
It worked,
You know,
right?
the music was hot.
It worked, right?
Yes.
Okay,
It was
cool.
hot. It was
Okay.
hot in here.
I'm sorry, man.
Go ahead,
We
brother.
got worked out up in here,
Go ahead.
Tyra, before you walked in. Tyra walked in dancing. Y'all don't know about Tyra. Tyra could have went a couple directions in her career.
She was a pop star, too.
She was the
I was not a pop star.
Oh, please. I
No,
remember.
I did some songs, and I did one song that the world saw, and I was like, that was enough.
Oh, you was pop. You were a star who did a song.
It was the #1 rated America's Next Top Model episode ever. But I always
Nice
say
sound
it was.
effect.
I don't think it was like, oh my God, I can't wait for Tyra to be a singer. I think it was like, let's watch what the hell this is. That's what I think the ratings were. I honestly do. I honestly was like, they were like, what's this? What's this gonna be?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about
Come on, you
ratings.
can do
why don't
anything
we?
you want to do, girl. Stop playing.
There it is.
Go ahead, tell her
Come
about
on
it.
now.
You ever
know
encourage?
You do it.
You ever have to, keep Tyra encouraged or vice versa? Y'all ever?
No,
each other?
we haven't had to. I mean,
No.
listen. I mean, obviously, we go way back, and our people don't really know a lot about it, but we went to grade school together.
Whoa.
What the hell?
Yes, in L.A. When I
Yes.
first moved to L.A., I went to a place called International Children's School, and that's where she was at. I was in junior high; she was in grade school.
Yeah.
But she was a youngin. She
Oh
was
yeah, and I would
Jesus.
chase him around campus because he was this big star in the Pepsi commercials and Silver Spoons and all this stuff. And I would just like chase him. I have pictures of him that I like as if I was the paparazzi.
Really?
This
Yes.
is kismet. Wow, that's bananas.
and then she came and blessed us on Fresh Prince. So
Yes.
Facts.
we've been together forever. And I always like to say, in this business, when you black, you see everybody, right? You ain't and know everybody. Like, they got sections, we got us, all of us together. And so through the years, you get to hang out with and see people, and we would always catch up. And when she had the Tyra Banks show, and hey guys, do your thing, keep going, rooting for each other on, and that's the way it always was. So this opportunity for me to come and join her on dancing has been incredible. We've just literally picked up right where we left off. It just
amazing.
immediately just that connection
That's
is
amazing.
easy and fun and just light, and we have fun on the set. And I think the shows are showing that, right? I think the shows have
Absolutely.
this great chemistry when we're there together. You just see that chemistry is just automatic.
Damn, it remind me of kindergarten the way you guys get along. So with Tyra, when you did the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, y'all already had this connection.
Yeah, well, I I was more of a fan.
Okay.
In elementary school, I think
Okay.
in Fresh Prince, it was more of like, okay, now I'm coming to the show. I was still super intimidated and nervous, and he was like there for me. Took me to Marie Callender's. He got me a pot pie.
the
Got
best.
me, all you can eat salad bar.
You take it to the best.
Yeah. And then her character dumped you for, Will.
First episode.
Typical. How dumb.
You always
Just
get dumped.
wrong. Oh, I never got anybody.
That's not true, man. Alfonso Ribiero, you my hero, bro.
Pull it.
Dancing with the Stars. I was reading about America's Got Talent and Dancing with the Stars. People pair it up a lot. We're just innocent consumers. We're just watching on TV.
Yeah,
Right,
it's
right.
two of the biggest TV shows on.
Two of the biggest
on
TV shows, but Dancing with the Stars has been making its strides, and I'm reading that the ratings in the Latin audience and even the black audience have gone up. 80% in Latin Americans and 70% in the black audience. This is true?
Yeah, so
Wow.
when I came 2 years ago, it went up exponentially, like crazy high, the ratings when I came on 2 years ago. And then we actually beat America's Got Talent for the first time when I came on. So it's funny, I left America's Got Talent, went to Dancing with the Stars, and then ended up beating the show that I left. It was weird.
Well, you're you.
That's a stunt,
It was
bro.
weird for AGT. Well, how does that
Facts.
How does that leverage you behind the scenes now
You mean as a producer?
as a producer?
Yeah, well, you know what? It's interesting. The world doesn't really talk about like the ratings that I bring, so I actually thank you for that.
Yes.
But I'm like, wait, I have the network executives coming to set of AGT saying, "Do you understand? We're up double digits. Flat is the new up in TV, and you
Yes,
brought
it
us
is.
up double digits."
Very much
so
the truth.
So it is nice to be able to bring that. It means that you bring an audience, and yes, you're right. It means that as I produce things in the future to show that we have some muscle and we can get some ratings, especially when TV is going down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ratings are going down. But we on streaming on Dancing with the Stars now, so it's a whole new game.
Y'all streaming?
Whole new area.
Okay, come on, man. They getting all kind of money.
All the lanes.
It's the first live stream show
On Disney
ever
Plus.
in history.
Wow.
Right, and it's on Disney Plus.
The first live stream.
Live stream.
Okay.
That's not sports.
Non-sports and non-award show.
Okay.
Right. So
okay.
this is the first TV series to stream, and we're not supposed to talk about, but from what I understand,
Okay.
we killed it.
Okay.
Alfonso, I wanted to ask you and commend you as well. Like Tyra being one of the queens of television, you being one of the kings of television with everything that we mentioned earlier. What's the difference, though, in how you approach a show like this? Like, obviously, you've done sitcoms and game shows and different things like that, but what makes this so different?
Well, for me specifically, I've always viewed everything as I'm just going to be me and bring me to whatever it is that I'm doing, rather than try to manipulate and turn something into something that I don't think is right for me, right?
Okay.
Because I always look at it like, well, why'd they pick me, right? So they pick me because I'm going to bring me. Right? I'm going to bring my energy, my lightness, my fun, right? And then specifically for this show, I'm where I'm supposed to be up in the skybox because of my history with everybody on the show. Knowing all these dancers. I always talk about this, but Thanksgiving is at my house for the dancers that don't have somewhere to go.
Oh.
Ever since I was on the show, right? So the only years that we didn't do Thanksgiving were the COVID years, right, where we couldn't do that. But other than that, everybody comes to my house, and so there's a family that I have with them. And so being up in the skybox and talking with them, and I'm getting stuff that producers can't get, right? And what I mean by that is I go on Sunday and I watch. And I sit there and I watch everybody's performance, and I'm feeling their performances. I'm seeing what they're doing, and then they're coming over to me and saying, "What do you think? How can we make this better? How can we change this? What should we change? What about the routine? Is there anything?" And I'm giving my, amateur understanding of it, but my knowledge of how this is supposed to look on camera, being a director, being someone who's done the show, being someone who understands what it's like as a contestant and their experience. So when I finally get them during the show up in the skybox, we just having a party. Right?
it.
And so it's the idea is if we're just having a party, they get to just come in and be part of it. America gets to watch a party happening, while what I'm trying to get from each contestant is tell America why they should vote for you. I'm going to give you questions, but ultimately this is your time to sell you, not the dance,
Yes.
not to the judges, not for scores, to America. how do I want you to vote for me because I'm me. And so it's a wonderful perspective that I get to have because I just truly I root for everyone.
You love
right?
this too.
I don't care who wins. I want them all to deliver the best version of themselves every week, every performance. Wow. And that's all I care about. And because of that, I feel like the audience respects the energy and goes, it just feels warm. It feels nice because he's rooting for them. Yep. He wants them to win. He wants them to succeed. He wants them. And then they know him. And there's all this, I always like to say, there's so many things that are not spoken about because we have these relationships. Mm-hmm. And that's what, really for them, gives them the ability to just open up. Because we talk about anything.
Shit, I'm trying to do Dancing with the Stars.
I can see it, Sway.
Come on, Sway.
You showed off your shoulders 5 minutes ago.
I mean, the shoulders were hot.
I got nice shoulders.
You know what I mean?
I got nice shoulders.
They're large, right?
They're broad.
You know what I mean?
You're very broad. You're like a football player, hockey player, wide.
Be careful, Tyra.
Profile me,
You have
Tyra.
to wear tight pants. Your high booty's going to show.
Profile me.
You comfortable with that?
But that means you can lift up the dancers and do lifts and stuff
I
because
throw
you're
them
strong.
up, Tyra.
I think you can catch them.
Count them. I don't play, Tyra.
I'm almost 6 feet, but I think you can handle it.
You better work, Tyra.
Throw it up, throw it up.
Come on.
Sway you better stop.
You better stop, Tyra.
Now you married, you better stop.
I'll be co-hosting. All right. But Tyra, you give a lot of great advice too, right? And then a lot of times your commentary get misconstrued, and I don't understand it. You say things. I heard you compliment a girl about her neck, and that went crazy. I thought it was a beautiful compliment.
It's true. The compliment is true. So I don't even understand why there's anything negative on that. She does have a beautiful neck.
When she dances, it's beautiful.
Dances,
it's beautiful.
And
it's
when you understand it from a dance perspective, it's like the judges talk about the top line all the time. Well, part of that is not crowding the neck.
Yes.
Letting the neck stay tall. So when she's complimenting a dancer on their neck, she's actually saying the same thing that the judges are saying, which is you have a beautiful top line. Which is so important in all the ballroom dances. But go ahead, let y'all jump. Y'all keep going.
No, that was great. But when do you get to a point where, I've gotten to a point where I just ignore comment?
Oh, I didn't even know they said that. I don't even look at that stuff.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. I know with me with this show, it's people. I don't even look at it.
Okay.
I just go to work. Yeah, and I know there's certain sensitivities. It's like she's coming into this world. She's fashion, and this is dance, but it's like whatever, child.
Yeah, whatever. When you throw
that.
child at the end.
Listen.
I'm like, I just want to. And I just need ratings.
Bruh.
I mean, it's like so you can say what you want. The ratings are through the roof.
There
so
you
it is
go,
what it
and
is.
congratulations.
Thank
That
you.
we celebrating. And you said I got broad shoulders. Mike, you want to jump in real?
Yeah, I do. One, I see why this show is so successful. The chemistry between you two is really good. And Alfonso, the way you just so Dancing with the Stars, I want to go back and miss all the shows I missed and throw my name in the ring for next season.
Well,
I've never had an interest.
While
but
it's
now
streaming, you can because you just go right back and start at the first episode.
Exactly.
That's part of the beauty of being on Disney Plus now is that if you want to catch on mid-season, you just got to catch up.
Yeah. Well, Alfonso, you segue to my question that I have for both of you, in particular Tyra, as you were talking about the ratings and the network's execs. And we see that Black and brown individuals have cut the cord. And I'm wondering, but you see the uptick in Black and brown audience as a result of you guys coming over to digital. And then the second part, that if that is the case, what do you guys say to networks execs across platforms about the importance of reaching Black and brown audience, adding the digital component to it?
As an EP, I'll let you jump.
I don't know what the ratings are for Disney Plus. It's with streaming. It's a secret, and there's different ways that you can kind of disseminate that. So I was talking about before. We just don't know. There's a little bit of a clandestine thing when it comes to ratings on streaming. But in terms of Black and brown people, historically, I don't know right now in the last 2-3 years, but we tend to actually watch more network TV and weren't cutting as much. Now, if there's a new trend that I'm sorry I don't know about, are we cutting the cord now and just saying peace out to cable television? Because we were kind of the last people that were kind of holding on to it.
Okay.
I do know that.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You want to get in there, Tracy?
Yeah,
Okay.
please. I'm curious now because you guys are icons, as Sway stated so accurately. Do you guys review your tapes kind of like an athlete does still? Meaning like after you do a certain episode, do you still go back and sit down and then have, I don't know, a postmortem between you two?
Not together. I mean, I think we've individually. I watched the first episode and half of the second one because I had to come here to New York, so I had to pack on Monday night. But I will always watch early work that I do, and then I stop watching. Right, in terms of watching from a critical standpoint, right? Because I'm trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work, how can I be better, how can I make myself exactly what I want it to be and how I want it to come across to viewers. And then once I reach that point, I stop watching because now it's a feeling.
Yes.
And if the feeling is right, then it will look right, right? And I don't worry about the specifics. Because of being a director, I can overanalyze everything. Certain things are completely out of my control. So do not try to think about those things because I can't help it. So if I'm watching it, I'll start telling the director things, right? And I just can't help myself, right?
Yeah.
I'll be like, I'll call Conrad Green, our executive producer. So I was thinking, one of the things I always like to say, stay in your lane, dog. Stay in your lane. You know what I mean? Because if you fill your lane, then it's cool. You start trying to reach into everybody else's lane, and all of a sudden now it's like, hey, get out my lane. So I'll stay in my lane. But I can't help myself but want to make it perfect, right? To want to lift every aspect of the show up, which is why I'm always working with a lot of the dancers where I'm talking to them because it's like, ooh, there was one in the first week, Heidi D'Amelio and Artem Shkvinsov, right? He was blocking her via the camera. So I was like, just adjust your choreography because camera can't be anywhere but here. So go to the 45 when you lift her up out of the chair.
Wow.
Don't do it on the zeros, right? Just 45 it, and now we can see it. So little things like that. Like I got in trouble this last week. I will admit it.
How by who?
I got in trouble this week.
Tyra?
I got in trouble. I got in trouble at home, right? So, not at home, my house, but like at people in their homes, where like Emma and Trevor Donovan had this steamy rumba, right? So I'm sitting there on Sunday, and I'm watching the rumba, and she comes over. What do you think? And I'm like, this needs to be steamier, right? I want to feel like we're literally voyeurism. Should we even be watching this because it's so hot, right? Now, I'm the one who told them that. So when they were so hot, I felt like my joke question of, hey, Trevor, was that acting or is there really something happening here? Was because I know there's nothing happening there. Yeah. She was at my house for my birthday. I'm aware. Yeah. I talked to Sasha, I'm aware of everything going on. And then America was like, that was rude because her husband is still here. I was like, that was a joke. We was playing. It's not. Aw, dang.
My apologies.
I called them both. I was like, my bad. I ain't really see it like
man.
that. But that's the thing. Like America right now can't take a joke.
Okay.
America is super serious about their own perspective, not recognizing that, like, hey guys, if I make a joke, it's a joke that I know that I can make.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not making it, and I'm actually trying to. I ain't starting. Right? But we're doing jokes.
But in the world today, anything you say
is always going
and
to
so
be
you
attacked.
have to know that. That's why I don't even look at it, or else you'll just be so conscious and you won't be able to move. You know, I'm sure same with you guys. It's like you guys have to be free and funny and provocative, and if you read every single tiny thing, you would just like.
Tyra, we just say
lock
fuck
up.
all y'all. We don't really care. We can say that here. We got a different kind of job.
You know what?
It's so free.
Your job is
Alfonso.
actually the
fuck y'all. We don't fucking care. Fuck you. Fuck you, and you too.
All right, there you go.
Sorry.
Okay.
But you're right. You're the opposite, right?
So how exactly do you feel about this? We're a little unclear.
Because we were just saying that this morning. Like you can watch 100 people clapping for you, but you'll notice that one person that didn't clap.
Yeah.
And it could just ruin like your whole day.
I actually don't.
You won't.
I don't. I see it, but I don't feel it.
Feel it. Okay.
Because 40 plus years, I've had a lot of people say a lot of negative things through the years, right? And you can't let it affect you,
right?
But you can let it inform you. So it doesn't have to affect to inform.
Yeah.
Yes.
So for me, it's like just because one person wrote it doesn't mean that it was one person who thought it. Some people are thinking it, and not everybody writes it. So the goal is to utilize it as a tool, not as a hindrance. It doesn't affect me to hear somebody say something negative, because but if there is something negative to be said, I need to understand that people are saying it. You can't be complete in my world. You can't be completely blind of it, because then you're not helping yourself.
Right.
So for me, it's always been no. I'm gonna hear you. And if I agree, I'll change. And if I don't agree, I won't change. But I want to know that it's there.
That is there.
Because, like, the next time I'm going to do a joke, I want to make sure that, that one was wrong and I don't care. Or that one was right and I should care. Because you do mess up sometimes.
Yeah, you mess up.
You do say things that are wrong, and you got to own that, but you sometimes need a mirror to own it.
Yes, but there's also a lot of mental health issues when it comes to social media. And there are people that are literally trying to harm themselves because of the things that they've seen. There's been actresses that have shared that.
True.
Yeah.
So I think there's another side of that it is important for some people. I don't have that serious issue, but I do think there are people that do need to not engage because it can really affect them.
Agree.
This is where
Absolutely.
we bring in like Mike Muse, because we were having this conversation this morning, Sway, Tracy, and us, through Twitter. We see sometimes celebrities arguing with a person with 8 followers and no face.
Right.
And it's like you let this one comment get you so in a down
Riled
spot.
up.
You're
Yeah.
riled up in a down spot. It's crazy.
And I always
sometimes.
like to say sometimes the reason is, and sometimes, not always, sometimes it's because there's truth. Right? So we live in a space where, in society as a whole, right, where we don't actually want to live truth.
Truthfully.
We want to live our own perspective, and if we build it the way we want to build it, we're safe there.
Yeah.
But there is truth sometimes, not all the time. Of course,
Right,
there are
right.
the trolls that are they're literally saying things to try and harm you emotionally and mentally, that it's an attack, not a comment. But that's where, just for me, it's understand that is an attack. That's not a comment.
Yeah.
Right? And so there are times when it's like, yeah, I'm done listening. Right? There's times when I'm like, all right, these jokers are tripping today.
Right,
so
right.
I ain't listening anymore. But for me, now I also have a really strong constitution as it comes to that, right? Like it doesn't land. None of it ever lands because they've been killing me for 40 years, right? Like we've talked about this, like, you know, me being the white guy, right?
Yeah.
Me not having the community support me. Like that could hurt. But it's like, what am I gonna do about it? They can keep saying it, but what am I gonna do about it? I can't
Have you
change
changed
it.
something?
Well, I don't change anything.
No, that you've heard of, like something that was constructive feedback where it was like, maybe you should go in this direction. Like,
I don't even trip on it.
Okay.
But I do need to know that there are people in the community who feel that way. So for me, it helps me go, that people feel that way. So I just need to make sure that when I'm doing something, that at least I know about it.
Okay.
So I can decide to not do anything different, or maybe do something a little different. And maybe that'll play a little bit to that audience that doesn't necessarily always support me based on my life choices.
Yeah.
So I just go, but I'm not going to change my life choices.
Right.
I just need to know that they're out there and they're thinking it. It's just like information doesn't have to hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Information is knowledge. Information helps you, in my opinion, for me, grow and continue to keep perspective of it all. It doesn't land. So I'm always like, keep shooting. It ain't landing.
There you go, Alfonso
Right?
Ribiero.
I'm the Matrix up in here.
There you go. Neo. Look at him. All right. Dancing with the Stars, Mondays, 8 p.m., also on Disney+. Tyra Banks, congratulations.
Thank you.
You've
The best.
done it again.
Thank you.
The best.
You've done it again.
Thank you.
Alfonso, you've done it again.
Done it again, bro.
Tyra, we got Iman coming up next.
Oh my. I love that she's like the queen. She is the reason that I was inspired. No way, she's here. No way! What? Wait, I'm confused. Wait, she's literally here?
Yeah. Two of the greatest ever
Wow.
right there.
The greatest.
what a moment.
The greatest.
That's crazy.
She was just singing
Wait,
the praise.
gorgeous.
Iman, how are
that
you?
she was
Beautiful.
here.
What is going on?
How are you?
That's crazy.
I just wanted to make that moment happen. That's all.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
I won again.
Yes.
Wow.
So nice,
That's
man.
mastery right
That's
there.
amazing.
Come on, man.
That's
We got
beautiful.
Iman coming up next. 888-742-3345.
That's beautiful.
Shade 45.